Well, then, I'll go home to my parents.
That's right. Don't ever come back. If you're just gonna leave, then you just sign these divorce papers.
Saying that, my husband, Hunter, had prepared divorce papers in a drawer behind my back. I picked them up and signed my part. And then I went back to my parents, told my mother what had happened. Then, a few days later, my husband came to my parents' house.
Hey, what the hell is going on here? Why did I get fired from my company?
Well, it's all your fault. You deserve what you got.
My name is Carolyn. I am 30 years old and I work in ACC. I am now married for 2 years to my Hunter. Things were going reasonably well at first, but we gradually began to grow apart and started to have arguments more and more. We first met on a blind date arranged by a mutual friend of ours. That is when I first met Hunter, who's same age as me. He kept on talking to me, and gradually we started meeting up more frequently. Then we began to officially go out, ended up getting married. I was 28 at the time, and I was worried about getting married too soon. I think one of the reasons why I was so impatient was that many people were already married for several years, and some even had children. I tried not to tell Hunter that I really wanted to get married as soon as possible, not to put any weird pressure on him, but I was really happy when he proposed. And there's another reason why I said yes when Hunter proposed to me. And it's because I knew we were meant to be together. It was because I got to reassure with the news that I was getting Master Hunter. My mother raised me as a single moth on her own. My father had passed away from an illness. I was still very young. So after that, my mother worked very support me and take care of me. And it was all because of my mother's ability to attend a good college and become an adult properly. I wanted to show my mother how happy I was after I got married to reassure her.
Oh, you're finally getting married, huh, Carolyn? I'm really happy for you, sweetie. Oh, I wonder what I should wear for the wedding.
Seeing my mother that happy made me too. Then, after meeting up with the parents and greeting them and meeting each other's families, the wedding ceremony was held without any issues. Seeing my mother cry when she saw me in my wedding dress, I cried too.
Oh, Carolyn, you're so beautiful.
Thank you so much, Mom.
From now on, please have a happy mar with Hunter.
I will for sure, Mom.
We had a lot of fun and really enjoyed times during our honeymoon and the stages of our newlywed life. My husband and I both worked, but I did well with sharing the housework that we were both capable of. When I informed to my mother that was 6 happily married, she was very happy of us.
I am so glad that you have found your happiness, honey.
Well, next it's your turn, Mom.
What? No way. Getting married is not for me.
But you're going out with somebody moment, right?
Yes, but I'm already at this age. You.
What are you talking about? You're only so young.
My mother was 52 at the time, and it was quite normal for her to get remarried. I mean, age has nothing to do with marriage.
Maybe the person who you're with is thinking about marrying you, Mom?
Oh, well, we'll see about that, honey.
Or are you playing with him, Mom?
Oh, don't say that, honey.
I know that's not true.
I had found my happiness, so I wanted my mother to have a second chance at life and be too. But before I could worry about my mother, something happened with Hunter and me, and it was all triggered by a trivial mistake.
You haven't done the laundry yet?
What? It's not my turn to do it today.
No. Today is your turn, honey.
What do you mean by huh? No way. It's not my turn.
Like this, we argued and had a fight first time since we got married.
Look, see, I even have it written down.
I had written down my share of the chores on my calendar. And that day was the day my husband charged of doing the laundry. When I showed him what I had written, he turned really red and got angry again.
Shut up. That's not even really reliable.
What is the best way to get rid of a cold sore?
In any case, I won't be doing it anyway.
No way.
Since Hunter refused to do the laundry, I had no choice but to do it myself. But I was surprised by my husband's irrational temper. I had never seen my husband lose his like this when we were dating or if we got married. Could it be that my husband's true like this? That's what I began to think. After that, my husband stopped doing his share of the housework.
Hey, I'm having a hard time because I have to do all these house chores by myself.
Well, it's none of my business and care less. Normally, the wife should be doing chores, you know. I mean, you should be thankful that helping out around the house until...
I was so shocked by the huge change, husband's terrible attitude. At that time, I considered divorce, but then I had found out that I was pregnant in the midst of all this chaos. I was a little nervous about leaving at the time as I was pregnant and had a baby. And besides, I thought my husband might change his attitude if I left. And plus, we had only been married 61 months or so at that time. And I thought my mother would be raised if I divorced so quickly. For these and many other reasons, not to divorce Hunter. When I told my husband that I was he was very happy.
So, I'm gonna be a father, huh? Then I have to do my best and work hard. Definitely.
I was so happy to hear Hunter say those things. Since then, my husband has taken on more of the household chores and has been taking care of my health.
Carolyn, are you okay? If there's anything, please just let...
Yeah, thank you so much.
Apparently, the birth of our baby by Hunter back to himself, being really again. And I finally gave birth to our baby, any issues. A cute little girl was born.
Oh wow, that's amazing. She looks just like an angel.
My husband was very happy about us being a family together. And I thought we would be a really great family. But reality doesn't always go as we want it to be. Since this was my first time was just so busy in taking care of daughter. She cried a lot at night, moved around, and it was really hard to keep up with house chores. But unfortunately, my husband did not appreciate what I did around the house at all. Hunter only cared for our daughter, was in a good mood, and gave the baby when she started to cry. He would then complain, "Are you sure you're doing your house chores properly?" As you can imagine, I couldn't just take in everything Hunter was as me.
Taking care of the baby is a lot difficult than you think, you know. And you have no idea how difficult it is to do all these household chores on top of taking care of a baby, do you? You haven't helped me much with the chores at all since our daughter was...
That's because you're on maternity leave, so doing the house chores is right. Besides, I'm out working, you know.
What is the best way to get rid of a cold sore? Then what are you going to do when to work? My conditions and yours are the same, you know.
Shut the hell up. You're gonna put our daughter in daycare, so nothing will change. Once you're done with your job and back at home, you're the one who's got to do all the house chores around there.
Saying that, Hunter went off to his. I was deeply disappointed in my husband's behavior. He was such a selfish person. Maybe Hunter would not change, even daughter was born. I thought about divorcing him, but I couldn't because I had not worked yet. And I also didn't want my mother to about me. After that, Hunter and I became increasingly distant, and we stopped talking to each other. My husband started coming home late and felt as if he didn't want a G home, and he started going out alone weekends. But for my part, I am grateful that did that. Seeing my husband's face made me so irritated, and I was happy to be away from him and be able to interact in a relaxed manner. So I preferred being with my daughter. Time passed by, and 2 years later, they got married. My daughter is now 1 year old, and little by little, every day. My maternity leave will soon be over, so I plan to return to work. But then something unexpected happened. My husband was having an affair with a woman behind my back. I was driving to dinner with my moth daughter around the town. Then I saw my husband in the street arm with a woman I didn't know. I was really surprised to see him that way, but strangely, I wasn't in a shock. In fact, I thought it might be a good opportunity for me. I then requested an investigation by a professional investigator. It turned out that my husband had been having an affair behind my back. I immediately questioned my husband what I had found out.
Hey, what is the meaning of this?
When I showed him the evidence, he became upset for a moment, but then became defiant.
Oh, so you caught me. Well, it's what it is, you know. I'm dating this cute girl.
You've got to be kidding me. You have a daughter too, remember? You really think that you can get at this?
Well, it doesn't matter much anymore. We were already growing apart, and our relationship was broken off anyway, right?
I can't believe that you're even act way.
I thought Hunter would at least apologize, but he didn't even try to do that. At this point, my feelings I had for my husband were completely gone.
Well then, I'll go home to my parents.
I never want to be in the same space as Hunter anymore. When I said that to my husband, he shrugged his shoulders.
That's right. Don't ever come back.
Saying that, my husband, Hunter, had prepared divorce papers behind my back. He really is a terrible man. I packed my things and left the house daughter before arriving at my parents' house to the town hall and submitted the papers. Then, when I returned to my parents, told my mother what had happened. My mother was surprised at what I had done, but she told me that it was the right thing for me to leave my husband because continuing such a marriage would have been wrong. I then went to my lawyer and filed for alimony against my husband and mistress. Of course, I also demanded child sup my husband. My husband paid the alimony immediately, but the child support was too much for all at once, so I asked him to pay in installments. But my revenge did not end there. With the help of a certain person, husband punished. A few days later, my husband suddened my parents' house.
Why did you come here all of a sudden?
You did something, didn't you?
Oh, you're talking about that, huh? It's all your fault. You deserve what you got. You were just punished for having an attitude.
You can't just fire someone for having an affair.
Well, that may be true, but I heard that you were having an affair with your colleague who is way younger than you. And you were both doing all kinds of naughty things in the company, weren't you? You might think that you wouldn't be caught by security cameras, but you can't definitely say that. You were clearly caught on videocon indecent acts in public, and I also that you were sneaking out of the skipping work to do those things.
How did you get access to security camera footage? And why do you, who has nothing to the company, have the authority to...
It wasn't me who fired you, it was president of your company. And he is my mother's second husband, who also became my stepfather.
What?
My mother was a very beautiful woman known for her beauty who made her living by working throughout my childhood. She still works at that pub, and that's where she first met my stepfather about a year ago. They started going out and were in a relationship for a while, and now just recently got married. After finding out about your affair, my mother told my stepfather about what was happening between you and me. And my stepfather had looked into what we were doing, and he said, I think that's a good idea.
No way.
My stepfather said that he doesn't want to hire someone who doesn't do their job well and makes a lot of mistakes, which can be detrimental to the company.
It was then Hunter finally realized his situation and began to cry.
I'm sorry, please, forgive me. If I lose my job here, I'm gonna have a hard time making ends meet all at once. I won't even be able to pay my rent.
Hunter pleads to me on his knees, but I knew that he didn't mean what. Actually, I believe that Hunter was like that because he found out that his former company's president was now my son, and knowing that we were wealthy now, he's trying to get back so that he can have a rich life with me. But I no longer have any feelings for my ex-husband.
It is impossible for me to get back with you, Hunter. I will never see you again and you me, the child support for my daughter. And that's all I have to say. Now leave before I call the police.
As I said that, my ex-husband left in a hurry. After that, my ex-husband was dumped by his mistress. And now, he is jobless, alone, trying to pay for the child. Meanwhile, I have returned to work in an apartment near my office, and am I living happily with my daughter? I will continue to work hard for her and watch her grow up.
I was surprised that Carolyn's mother had been married to the president of her ex-husband.
But I'm glad that the stepfather helped Carolyn to punish her crappy husband. I hope Carolyn continues to have a joyful life with her daughter.
Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in our next video.